So this is a pretty exciting day. We are getting ready to fire up the 426 cubic inch fire-breathing nightmare numbers matching engine for
Mr. Melmberg.
One of the most fantastic things about this car was all of the numbers matched. The original engine, the original transmission, which is almost unheard of on Hemi cars because they were driven so hard and beat up so bad back in the day that a lot of those cars don't have their original engines. This one did. However, it had been open to the elements since the day of the fire. It still had water residue in it. You could see there was a lot of decay in the cylinders. Our job was to make sure that we saved that original engine. So we did end up having to bore it to 60 thousandths over. You racers out there know that's nothing on an old 426 Hemi block, but that is how far we had to go out with it. If it ever needed to be bored again, most likely they'd have to put sleeves in those cylinders. But we were able to save the engine, the numbers matching engine. With some parts from Tony, we were able to put the outside of it together and make it look the way it's supposed to look. This will be, and I have the ultimate confidence that it'll run, the first time that engine has ran in over 2 decades. And the last time it did run was before the accident that nearly killed him. We're gonna do it right now on 3, 2, don't forget, Tango and Cash, Cash and Tango. They dance in, they take my drugs, they dance out. Remember?
No.
You never saw it? Well, I'm Ray Tango and you're Cash now from now on.
Ooh, I have money?
You can call me Tango. No, it's his last name, fool.
Oh.
Let's fire up an engine. Now, just in the carburetor world alone, so you guys are wondering what things are out there, how much things can cost, I don't like to give total prices. I don't like to talk about how much we charge for everything. But just an example, a correct matching set of carburetors for this car. Now, Wendell bought them directly from Tony's Mopar, had them sent to Scott Smith up at Harms and had them completely restored. They're gorgeous, like 2 pieces of nice new jewelry. But they're getting over $5,000 for a pair of matching, correct 71 Hemi carburetors. That's just one small element of this build. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is crank it over and get the fuel up into the carburetor. Now, firing up a fresh engine, we have our protocol. I like to use the original fuel pump so we know it's gonna work. Why use the electric fuel pump that comes on the Easy Run engine stand? Why not use the mechanical one that you're gonna be having in the car shortly? So that means the engine has to crank over because it's a pump and it works off of the camshaft. So Doug, if you wanna crank it over without an ignition, I will let you know when it starts pumping some fuel. Let's crank it over for a little bit, hear how it sounds. Hang on. I crank that engine over until I have fuel all the way up through the fuel vapor separator into the carburetors and spraying through the accelerator pump system. The other advantage of that is it gives the engine, without fire to it, no pun intended, without the ignition being on, I should say, an opportunity to build up the oil pressure. So when we do fire it off, we've got good oil pressure, we have fuel, and it should be an easy start. Nothing quite yet, go ahead. All right, we got fuel, great. So once Doug and I do a basic systems check to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be, not gonna have any weird issues, we have fuel up in the carburetors, got oil pressure, all systems are go, it's time to crank it over and fire it up. Bump it, bump it, bump it, bump it. Oh, that sounded good. Hang on here. That sounded good, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I think it's retarded. Hang on. You know, it's very rare that when you fire one of these engines up, that right off the bat you have the timing set perfectly. So when I use that term retarded, it's not a disparaging thing. It's that you have advanced timing, correct timing, and then you have retarded timing. It means it needs to be advanced. The distributor needs to be rotated around till we can get it up to the zone where it runs its very, very best right before it starts pinging. I call that power timing. All right, sure.
Okay, here we go.
Hang on.
Here we go.
Yep. Holy cow. I did not expect that. You know, I'm always excited as can be when something works like it's supposed to, because it rarely does. It's Murphy's Law. It doesn't always work the way it should. There are a lot of parts that go into these engines. This particular engine been setting for 20 years, and right before it was parked, it was on fire. So there was a multitude of things that could go wrong, but it was a pleasant, welcome surprise to have it fire right up, a little bit of timing on it, a little bit of carburetor adjustment, and running the way it should. Which tells me that Doug did a phenomenal job, the machine shop did a phenomenal job, Scott Smith did a phenomenal job. Everybody involved in bringing this engine back to life, the Phoenix CUDA engine, did a fantastic job. Woo! Yeah! So when you see me at the back of the exhaust system, just feeling it, there's a reason for that. I am feeling for a misfire, a pop, something that you might not even hear, but a gentle misfire in the exhaust. Okay, there's 8 cylinders on this engine, fire ordering 184366572. I put my hands on the right and the left exhaust bank. I want to feel if there's a misfire. I'm not hanging out in a jet wash, I'm not Goose from Top Gun, 1986. That's that scene from Top Gun, when I come through the smoke like this. Going into a flat spin, and then he gets shoved into that canopy thing that just knocks the wind out of him. And then they go out to sea. Well, he's dead when he hits the water, which upset Maverick a lot. You know, he had a hard time. It really shook him. It's good, love it. To that. This case, I had a perfect running engine. All 8 cylinders were firing equally. All right, what do we got for leaks? Anything? Got a little something over there. One little drip. Could it be the radiator hose? Almost 100 PSI. Since we invested in these engine run stands, it's actually called the Easy Run Engine Stand, if you're wondering, it has made life really nice for the assembly tech. When you run that engine, you're not just running it to make sure it's not misfiring or that the carburetor's full of gas and the fuel pump's working. You're looking for leaks, you're looking for rattles, you're looking for overheating, you're looking for all of the potential problems that an engine can have, except that you have the opportunity to fix it while you have full access to it. Instead of you put that engine in the car and you have a freeze plug that's dripping a little bit, you are screwed, blued, and tattooed. You are pulling that engine back out again, knocking that freeze plug out, resealing it, putting it back in, lowering it back down into the car. And when you do that, every time you do that, you run a risk of damaging them. So with the run stand, when you are done, you are done. Oh, that's incredible. 20 years since this thing almost killed poor old Wendell, and it starts right up. See that smoke burning off of their pumps? That's a fresh startup, so people at home, they can say whatever the hell they want. That's a fresh startup. The reason I always point out the burning paint off of the manifolds is because you can't fake that. When we paint the engines, we do it just like Chrysler did. We paint the entire engine with the exhaust manifolds on there. Then we fire the engine up. So when you see that paint burning off, it tells you that we have not pre-ran the engine. The keyboard commandos that sit back on Facebook and Twitter and all the different social media saying, oh, that's bullcrap, it's all fake, nothing starts and runs like that. I point it out because it does. It does if you do your job right. Now, you guys probably don't. I shouldn't be insulting people, that's not nice.
Thank you.
Woo! We're gonna shut it down, check the level in the radiator, make sure that it's still full. And then we'll fire it back up, finish breaking in the camshaft, but we're there. We can install it.
Knowing that the drivetrain is ready to go into the car is such a relief. Now I can start ordering all of the interior parts from Classic Industries to get this car reassembled. Wendell is gonna be stoked.
It's up to operating temperature, timing is set, power steering's topped off, oil's filled. It is literally ready to come off of the stand, go inside, get it on the assembly install cart, and put it in our 71 Hemi CUDA. Look at that manifold.
Yeah.
Thing turned black. That's that paint starting to burn off to a point where it's almost gone. After a couple more times, it'll look more like this. It'll have a natural cast finish to it. Think you can do a normal one of those right there?
Normal.
Hello ghouls, Mark Warman here, the Ice Tree from Graveyard Carz. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. We have fantastic stuff coming up, and some of it you've never seen before. I gotta go insult people. Hey, Alice!